just even though our lives have been obviously upended the last 18 months, the effect on daily life and on the economy just would have been hugely higher, right?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. I mean, think, Zoom, when the pandemic hit, Zoom was adding thousands of users a night to their network and allowing video conferencing. They would not have been able to do that 10, 15 years ago. Just they wouldn't. Um, it's literally hard to imagine. Easy Pay in India, I think they're going from 300,000 users to 1.5 million. I mean, I could go on and on, but the numbers in terms of how companies have been able to scale their operations in the face of the pandemic, it's really remarkable. And yes, I don't want to. I would hate to imagine what it would be like without the cloud.
Are things going to look like when we return to the office and when life returns to some greater semblance of normalcy? Will this pace continue as it has in cloud adoption? Will it slow down? What do you think?
I think it's going to continue to accelerate. I think everyone prior to the pandemic, companies were moving, but they weren't moving at the same pace. I don't think there's any going back now. The cloud does a number of things for a company. One is it dramatically increases the speed of change. You can experiment in the cloud at a much faster pace and at a much lower cost than you could in a traditional environment or your own kind of data center environment. You can scale much more rapidly. So if you have a good idea, you can scale it far more rapidly than you can in a traditional environment. And your costs will go down. I think when we go back after the pandemic, the cloud will become even more important because I think a lot of us will be living in a hybrid work world where some people will be home, some will be at the office. In some ways, the challenges of that will be even greater than the pure virtual world. And how do you make that an effective experience for your employees? I think also, the demands on the supply chain are continue, and consumers, many things that we've started to do or accelerate under the pandemic, I don't think will slow down. Online ordering, the way we consume content, those things are going to continue to accelerate, and I think the demands on companies to keep adapting the cloud will only grow.